What's up now? How y'all doing out there? What's up? I don't want to hear Nikola Jokic fans comparing Jokic to Shaquille O'Neal no time soon, unless of course he wins this series, goes off and wins another chip, because he is not in the same conversation. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you a few reasons why. Charles Barkley said something real interesting inside the NBA. He said Jokic is tiring. When did you ever hear Shaquille O'Neal be considered tiring when he was in his peak in his prime? I'm waiting. Even when they lost to the lost to the Rockets with Olajuwon, and it took and it didn't like he had a scrub series. Olajuwon was a bit better than him, but they had a three-headed monster. But when did Shaq look tired? So we go from that '06 finals to that '04 finals. When did Shaq look tired? I'm just talking about the uh the three when he won, when they won a 3-2 at the time before he did the one in Miami. When did he look like he was tired? When did you ever hear an announcer say, "Oh, he look like he's wearing out in his peak, in his prime"? That's what they're saying about Jokic right now. That's what Barker said. And he do. He look beat up, expending all that energy. And I know y'all gonna come up here and say, "Well, he's on the perimeter. He passes more. He does all that." Well, no, he's the leader, he anchor. How come you don't get your teammates get you some help? You wanna have jive turkeys like Mad Dog Russo and Bob Ryan wanna up here try to downplay Shaq and hype up Jokic. Jokic ain't meeting the hype. Well, let me just say like this, because someone was talking. Kenny the Jet Smith made an interesting point about Jokic and Luka Doncic, because them porkly cats from overseas, when they move the ball, it's slow motion, and that's how they're able to dazzle and all that. But when they have to move fast and they put that ball on the ground and they get stripped and they get frustrated, then they start throwing hands and looking lost and looking for the rest. That's what Jokic has done, because them Zubats exposed him in the first round, and he ain't looked that good. Now, before people come and talk about Shea Alexander, he did enough to win. Jokic had an 8-point lead going in the fourth quarter in a sluggish game after they only scored 8 points. Let that sink in. So, Mr. All Around Offense, Mr. Triple Double, Mr. I Get Everybody Involved, and you can only muster 8 points in the first quarter, and you want to be compared to Shaquille O'Neal? You really want that smoke? You really think that? When Dwight Howard is still saying he bodied you up from 5 years ago, that should tell you something. Because I'm a firm believer if the white played right now, he'd be just enough to nudge him. Who said that about Shaq in his peak in his prime? Who? And don't give me no Ben Wallace, because Shaq was putting 20 and 10 on him. And he was still doing his thing. He was the best player in that finals against Houston for Orlando, and those three-ring run and 4 trips in LA. Because all due to side to Kobe Bryant, Shaq was the one that was running and stirring the glass there. Don't get it twisted. Jokic, all that triple double, all that hype and hope, look, where is he at? Where he go? He's shooting under 40%. He's not hitting the low post. He's settling on fades, settling on jumps, shooting bad threes, frustrating fouls, getting chippy, get up under his skin, and they're getting waxed. And this is Chad Holmgren. See, I understand what Zubac's giving you problems, but Chad Holmgren, they're nudging him. Derek's putting him out there, and I'm not gonna say Jokic doesn't belong as one of the 10 best centers ever, because he do. But when you consider all the hoopla they be pushing about him being the best player in the world and all that, and they want to say he's as dominant with Shaq, and they want to say this crazy talk for someone who actually saw Shaquille O'Neal close and personal, and you grew up watching Shaq, and you seen this cat, and this is what they're coming up with. Y'all need to. Well, Charles Barkley said the guy's getting tired. I never heard no one say that about Shaq in his peak of his prime. You always hear about Shaq eating too many burgers or drinking, doing all that. Shaq was going to the finals. Shaq was dominating. Shaq, you had to employ 4 centers to get 24 fouls. Let that sink in. Jokic gets to the free throw line and he's still not dominating. So for all that stat pad and all that stuff he do, don't insult Shaquille O'Neal again. Please don't put Nikola Jokic in the same sentence with Shaquille O'Neal until I see some more results. And right now, he got almost an asterisk by his name, because he ain't in the same universe as no Shaquille O'Neal. People in the know better. Stick to your era. Okay, this is why I tell people, be great in your era when you got to worry about Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, people like that. Don't put you in the sentence with the people like Shaquille O'Neal. Because you ain't never heard You want to be the man, you got to step up and be the man. That's why Shaq said barbecue chicken when he saw him. Because Jokic ain't putting down like that. It's nice, and look, he bad for what he do. But he's kind of like a LeBron James type. And that's why they're not top two, three greatest players ever. Because if you really all this all around, all the assist, all that right, how come your teammates ain't better? How come you ain't winning? How come you ain't competing and winning? Make it make sense. The dominant ones stayed with dubs. Other ones be blaming people and they can't get no more. You can't motivate. You fire coaches. You get mad at personnel. You don't play no defense. You're lackadaisical. You're looking for bailouts. You're flopping. You acting. You ain't no Shaquille O'Neal. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.